Hey guys, hope everyone's day is going well, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a yo-yo review on the YoYoFactory Edge Monster. Wait, is it Monster Edge? The Edge Monster. Let's jump right in. Alright, so quick before anything else, I just want to talk a little bit about the history of this yo-yo, like what this yo-yo actually is. So this is Evan Nagau's newest signature yo-yo, and it's way wider than any of the other yo-yos that he's produced. This yo-yo has taken a lot of inspiration from the original Monster. The YoYoFactory Monster was a yo-yo that Evan used a few years back, and so the inspiration of the width of the Monster has really influenced the shape of the new YoYoFactory Edge Monster. Alright, so I'm going to put the specs on the screen of this yo-yo in the next clip, and just pay attention to some of those specs, some of them that seem a little bit extreme, because that's going to help us for our next section of the video. Alright, so first let's talk about the unboxing experience for the YoYoFactory Edge Monster. So the Edge Monster comes in this kind of, it's this new eco-friendly cardboard YoYoFactory box that I really like. I mean, I love that they're helping the environment out, and overall I just think the box looks really good. And with the yo, obviously you get like a YoYoFactory string or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty basic unboxing experience. It's just cool to finally see the new YoYoFactory eco-friendly box. And so now looking at the appearance of this yo-yo, the first thing that I'm pretty sure everyone notices is that this yo is crazy wide, and I mean it is really wide. If you look at the spec, that width is not really seen in many yo-yos. If I compare this to the Atlas even, which is the widest yo-yo I have in my collection, the Edge Monster is even wider than the Atlas. There's not many yo-yos out there that are wider than the Atlas, so that's pretty crazy. So let's take a look at the specs. Okay, so the diameter of this yo-yo is 54.95 millimeters, which I'd say is a pretty standard diameter. The width of 55.59 millimeters is definitely very strange. The weight is 65.9 grams, which in my opinion is a little bit on the heavier side for today's standard, and the rest of the specs are pretty normal. So really the only spec that's super different here is the width of 55.59 millimeters. You do not see that a lot. Alright, so next, the color of this yo, which is rose gold, is really sick. And this is my third rose gold yo in my collection, and I really dig it. The entirety of this yo is a super matte bead blasted finish, which is really great. In the hand, this yo is also really comfortable to hold. Since it's such a wide yo, it just like feels really good to hold in the hand. And that's just a side note, but I mean, it's really nice. The shape itself, I'd say it's kind of an H shape. It's got this super flat, rim-weighted, chunky design, and then it's got a steep slope down to the bearing. So I guess you could call that an H shape. And then at the very bottom, we got some super low walls towards the bearing. Looking on over to the cup, we've got some kind of like cuts down to the very center. They're kind of hard to explain, but it's just a couple cuts down to the center. In the center, we have a spike in the middle, which I'll talk more about how that affects grinds in the grind section of this video. And yeah, and so just in general, this has a really unique appearance in my opinion, and I really like how it looks. Okay, so now let's talk about the playability of this yo-yo. So first of all, I'd say the yo-yo plays pretty stable, but it feels a little bit kind of like heavy to me, a little bit of a reluctant mover in my opinion. And since it does have a weight that's a little bit more heavy than the average yo-yo, that definitely shows with its play. I mean, the yo-yo is still fairly nimble, and it can still kind of dance around on the string, but when it comes to like fast tricks, it struggles a little bit to really get up to the fast speeds, so I'd say it's a little bit of a reluctant mover. However, this yo-yo is really stable and long spinning, so I really like that. It's definitely super rim weighted, which is what Evan Nagau does for just about every one of his yo-yos. Whips and slacks are super easy on this yo, I have to say, since I mean this yo is so wide, it's so catchable and easy to perform any of your whips and slacks, so that's something that I noticed was really easy to do with this yo-yo. Next, tech tricks I'd say are only okay with this yo, and I mean it's kind of assumed with the yo this wide, sometimes you're gonna hit like double strings or land on the wrong string, since it's such a big yo-yo in general, so tech tricks are not the greatest with this yo-yo because of the width. Finally, horizontal with this yo-yo is pretty good, I'd say. So here's something that I noticed about this yo-yo, and here's why I don't say that, you know, horizontal is amazing. The shape of this yo-yo causes the string, when, you know, playing horizontal, to have multiple contact points slowing down the yo-yo. So here's what I mean by this. I'm going to show you a close-up real quick. But basically, so during horizontal play, obviously because of gravity, the string wants to touch the side of the yo-yo. In order to have a really good horizontal yo-yo, there needs to be very little contact points with the actual yo-yo, thus slowing it down. So I'm going to show you a little comparison to the Atlas, which has these cuts that are designed to be really good for horizontal and not slow the yo-yo down. As you can see there, the string doesn't touch the yo in that many points, so there's very little friction. However, with the Monster Edge, because of this kind of flat design, the string touches a lot of the yo-yo and makes horizontal not the best. It doesn't spin for as long as I would like. But yeah, that's just something you should note. I mean, with a wide yo-yo like this and a shape like this, it's kind of inferred, but that's a little downside with this. Alright, next for grinds, this yo is really, really nice. The super smooth bead blasted finish makes, you know, finger grinds super good, palm grinds really good, thumb grinds are definitely able to be performed because there is a bit of a lip there that allows your thumb to lock in. Talon grinds are also amazing with this yo-yo. Finger spins are pretty good. There is that spike in the middle, which makes, like, you can't really lock into a finger spin, it's just, you kind of rotate around that spike, but that's just something to note. But yeah, overall I'd say finger spins are pretty good for this yo-yo. Just know that you're not going to be like able to lock in or anything because there's that spike in the middle. Alright, so next I want to talk a little bit about the value for price with the Edge Monster. This yo-yo goes for $60, and honestly I feel like that's a really good price for this yo-yo. This yo-yo is definitely in like a very extreme yo-yo for, you know, those tricks that are super hard to hit consistently, like the super hard bangers and stuff like that. This yo-yo spins for a very long time and it can hit all those extreme bangers, and for $60 it's a great price for a yo-yo of this quality. I really like the general feel of this yo-yo, and overall it's just like a very fun yo-yo to play with, but it can also handle some of the most intense bangers and tricks like that. Okay, so conclusion time. Basically, this is YoYoFactory's kind of budget, new Evan Nagao release extreme yo-yo. So this is meant for the super extreme tricks, the really hard ones. It performs very well for those tricks. This yo-yo is built really well, and overall it's just like a really fun yo-yo to play with. It's not great for tech or speed in my opinion, but I mean, you guys kind of assume that when you're buying a yo-yo with this gigantic weight, it's not easy to make a yo-yo that's good for tech or speed, but that is just something that you need to consider when buying this yo-yo. Overall, I definitely recommend this yo-yo, and I'm for sure gonna keep it in my collection. Alright, thank you guys all so much for watching my review of the Edge Monster. If you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new, definitely hit that like button, and also if you guys are new here and haven't seen my videos before, definitely hit that subscribe button. Remember, we're trying to hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it, but just please, if you're watching this video right now and haven't subscribed, hit that red subscribe button. It would be really appreciated. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.